Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight? For the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave for the land of the free and the home of the brave?
And welcome, Chinook fans. This is Cale Duarte, the voice of the Chinooks, joined by my partner, Ryan Beck. And tonight, we have some fast-paced Alaska Baseball League action. The big boys from the city, the Anchorage Glacier Pilots, come to town to face off the Chinooks. The Chinooks are off a 2-game win in last night's doubleheader over the Oilers. And so are the Pilots after 2 wins over the Miners. Ryan, both these teams come in hot. What are you expecting to see tonight?
Definitely some just high caliber baseball. It's going to be a pitted matchup between these two teams as they're both trying to see who can get to 3 wins and who can, the Pilots are coming off a good hot streak, beating the Miners twice last night. It would be a score of 3-1 and then 10-2. We'll see if their bats are still alive or if they've scored all their runs during those 2 games, but we'll just have to wait and see.
And wait and see. We will do. The Pilots, after those 2 wins over the Miners, come in to this game, 12 wins, 15 losses. That's good for 3rd place in the league. And your Chinooks, after the 2 wins over the Peninsula Oilers, come into this game 12-16. That's 12 wins, 16 losses, which is good for 4th place, a half game back over the Pilots. So this game, as we get crunch time in the playoffs, is pretty critical. On the hill and on the pitching tonight is the right-hander, Mike Batten. From Southern Wesleyan University. Batten comes into this game and 5 starts. Has a record of 1 win, 2 losses, and a 3.17 ERA. And 28 1/3 innings pitched. 24 strikeouts, 21 walks, and 23 hits given up. In the field tonight for your Chinooks, catching is Justin Gomez. Over at first base, Hayden Mixon. The Aussie, Brandon Mitchie, playing second. The hot corner will be manned by Luke Coffey. Playing shortstop is Aaron Love, Jack Shackelford. And from left to right, we have Preston White making his debut in a long time in the outfield, and Jeremy Johnson in center, and Mike Capriz in right field. The lineup in the batting order for the Pilots, Will Brennan, the center fielder, going to lead things off. The third baseman and the hot-hitting Andre Gregory batting second. The big-hitting first baseman, Cuba Best, will be in the 3-hole. In the cleanup spot, the left fielder, Armani Smith. The catcher, Sam Cohen, batting fifth. In the DH hole and batting sixth, Carter Benz. Cameron Thompson, the shortstop, batting seventh. Sam Pregel, playing second base, batting eighth, and Chandler Anderson, the right fielder, and batting ninth. And Ryan, as we get expected, critical game in the playoff standings, going to be good tonight.
Absolutely. And, the standings right now, the Chinooks are sitting in fourth place. They're not far off from first right now, only 5.5 out, and that's not too bad. And the Pilots only a half game ahead. Game today, we could decide who moves up a little bit.
And it's a pretty critical game as we only have a handful of games left in this season. And to lead things off in this critical Alaska Baseball League game is the left-handed hitting center fielder Will Brennan. And the first pitch from Batten on the hill is down low, ball one. Last night, like I mentioned earlier, 2 very key wins over the Peninsula Oilers. 4-3 was the first one, and then 7-6 in the second game, both of them going to your Chinooks. And that pitch from Batten is inside for strike one. And while this game's going on, another Alaska Baseball League news, the Peninsula Oilers are at Anchorage to face the Bucks, and that game's just starting up as Batten puts that one in for strike two. We'll keep an eye on that one, as that game is also very critical in terms of the Chinooks standing in the Alaska Baseball League standings. The 1-2 pitch from Batten, and got him. As he just put that ball in the outside corner, and Brennan had nothing but to do but go out and fish it, but came up empty, and that's the first out and the first strikeout of the game for the right-hander Mike Batten. Andre Gregory now coming up for the Pilots here. And with 1 out and nobody on, Gregory hitting .343 in this season. Definitely a dangerous hitter at the plate, and his first pitch swinging is a miss, and Batten gets ahead of him 0-1. Gregory, good for 4th in the league in batting average. Definitely on a hot start as Batten misses down low on that breaking ball. 1 ball, 1 strike, nobody out. 1 out, nobody on. And that ball is up high. Ball 2. And that 2-1 pitch is out to Coffey at third. Coffey fields it cleanly. And the throw across the diamonds in time for out number 2. And hit with nobody on and 2 away is Cuba Bess. Cuba Bess so far in this season, .338 and 65 plate appearances. No homers, a triple, and 4 doubles out of Grand Canyon University. He hits here, nobody on with 2 away. And a swing and a miss on that Batten fastball low. Puts Bess down 0-1. No balls, 1 strike, 2 outs, nobody on, top half of the first. And that one's chopped out to Mitchie at second. Mitchie fields it, throws to first. And Batten, a 1-2-3, top half of the first. We head to the bottom of the first as the Chinooks get ready to come up for their first at-bats of the game. 0-0 ball game as we head to the bottom half of the first. We'll be back. And as we're back in the Chinook bottom half of the first, Mike Caprice to lead things off. Freeze comes into this game that's hitting .324 and 108 batting appearances, and he just knocks it down to left field. But Armani Smith out there runs in and puts that away for first pitch out number 1. Jeremy Johnson coming up to the plate. Last night, Johnson went 1 for 3 with 2 RBIs. He hits here, nobody out, and 1 away in this bottom half of the first. And Johnson takes that one outside, ball 1. On the mound for the Pilots is Alden Huschel from Seattle University. Huschel comes into this game in 2 starts, a 1-3 record, a 4.11 ERA. And Johnson chomps that as Huschel fields it but drops it. And that's going to be an error on Huschel. And now after Johnson reaches first base on that error, Brandon Mitchie to the plate. Mitchie hits here from the left side and takes that one outside, ball 1 from Huschel. Mitchie, 1 for 3 last night and a walk. As Huschel throws over to Johnson at first. Johnson slides in safe. And Mitchie takes that outside, ball 2. 2 balls, no strikes, 1 out. And Jeremy Johnson on first, Brandon Mitchie at the plate. First time the Chinooks seeing this right-hander on the mound for the Pilots. As Huschel sets and delivers. And Mitchie, an easy take out there. And Mitchie in the driver's seat here, 3 balls, no strikes. And Mitchie not afraid to just unload on a pitch, as we've seen him do several times in the past. Johnson takes his lead off first. The 3-0 pitch coming to Mitchie with 1 away here. And Mitchie takes that one down the middle, strike 1. Huschel so far in the season in 19 2/3 innings, 14 strikeouts, 10 walks, and has given up 16 hits. The 3-1 pitch from the right-hander. And Mitchie unloads out to right field, and that's going to be a chance. That's back. Gone! Mitchie, no doubt about it, to right field. And you can kiss it goodbye, and Mitchie's going to touch them all. And Brandon Mitchie puts the Chinooks up 2-0. And Ryan, that ball was absolutely smoked.
It was tattooed out in the right field. Put that one somewhere in the parking lot.
And now, after that 2-run bomb to right field by Mitchie, Justin Gomez comes to the plate, nobody on and 1 away. And Gomez takes that one high, ball 1. One ball, no strike pitch, and Gomez pops that one high in the air, out to Thompson at short, but that's going to be called off by the left fielder, Armani Smith, who puts that away. Now number 2. Aaron Shackelford to the plate now. Hitting here with nobody on and 2 away, bottom of the first. Your Chinooks up 2-0. After Brandon Mitchie moments ago set one over the fence in right field for a 2-run bomb. And Shackelford takes that high, ball 1. One ball, no strikes. And Shackelford laces that up to center. But that ball hangs just a tad high, and Brennan is going to put that away. Out number 3. The Chinooks on 2 hits, put 2 runs thanks to a Brandon Mitchie bye-bye baby to right field. And we head to the top of the second. Chinooks up 2-0. Mike Batten on the hill when we come back. Armani Smith now, after taking that ball one from Batten up for the Pilots, sitting here to lead things off top half of the second. Chinooks lead 2-0 as Batten throws the 1-ball, no strike pitch. And that one drops in beautifully for strike one. And Smith takes that inside, ball two. And that one outside to Smith, ball three, and Armani Smith, who's been struggling at the plate this season, will have a hitter's count of 3 balls and 1 strike with nobody out in the top half of the second. Batten kicks and deals. And that's an easy take by Smith, and he's going to get on after a walk. As Sam Cohen to the plate. Cohen hitting .216 in this season for the Pilots. Comes to the plate, hitting from the left side and catching tonight. Hits with the runner aboard on first and nobody out in this 2-0 game. And Batten puts that in for strike one to Cohen. And Batten finds the outside corner, strike two, and the 6'5" right-hander in the driver's seat on the mound. No balls, 2 strikes.
Batten gets the sign from Gomez and going to throw on over to first, check on Smith. Armani is one of the couple guys on the Pilots roster that does have quite a bit of foot speed.
We'll see if that's put to use as Batten looks in the 0-2 pitch. Smith takes his lead off first. And that one hangs inside, ball one. The Pilots, not an aggressive team in terms of the base pass, but I guess any team compared to the Chinooks would be on more the conservative side.
I would say so.
As the Chinooks seem to be stealing every chance they get. 1-2 pitch from Batten, nobody out, and a runner on first. And that one's sent out of play, and we'll have that 1-2 pitch again. One ball, 2 strikes, nobody out. Top half of the second. Your Chinooks up 2-0 over the Pilots. 1-2 pitch. And that one inside, and Batten gets Cohen looking there, and Cohen gives the home plate umpire a piece of his mind as he walks back to the dugout. As Batten, great pitch on the inside corner, gets his 3rd strikeout of the game. 2nd strikeout of the game, excuse me. But I'm sure in no time he'll have that 3rd one as Carter Benz, the DH, steps to the plate, 1 away, runner on first for the Pilots, down 2-0 here in the top half of the second. As Batten throws over to first, Smith over there slides in safely. And there goes Smith. Gomez pops up, throws down to Mitchie, and that ball is out of center field. That's Johnson out there in center. Good job of backing him up. Gomez, a strong arm, but that time just a tad high. And Smith has a successful stolen base there. And meanwhile,
looks like Smith had a minor wardrobe malfunction out there.
Those are the worst. One of the funniest things I've seen in terms of wardrobe on a baseball field, the ball went into the uniform on like a ground ball. It was insane.
That's definitely pretty hard to do.
As that one's tapped to Coffey at third. Coffey watches Smith back to second and throws over to Mixon at first. 2 outs here in the top half of the second. Cameron Thompson out of the plate. Thompson, the shortstop, hits here with 2 outs with a runner on second in the top half of the second inning. Batten can't locate the outside corner, ball 1. And that 1-0 pitch finds the upper strike zone for strike 1. Batten, good location on that high fastball. Now 1 ball, 1 strike pitch on its way to Cameron Thompson. Hitting from the left side here with his teammate Armani Smith taking his leadoff second. Chinooks up 2-0, top half of the second. And Batten looks in and deals. And that one's chopped out to Mitchie. Mitchie takes it on a hop, collects it, throws over to first. And Batten is through 2. We head to the bottom of the second. Chinooks with a 2-0 lead. We'll be back when the Chinooks come to the plate. Bottom of the second here, Chinooks lead 2-0 over the Anchorage Glacier Pilots. And to the plate is Hayden Mixon. Mixon playing first base tonight for the Chinooks will lead things off. And that one is in for strike 1 from Huschel on the mound. Mixon hitting .206 in this game last night. In the first game of the doubleheader, Mixon went 2 for 2 with a double and an RBI. And Mixon's going to chop that one foul. And Mixon, who before last night was struggling a little bit, but that batting average went up a whole 26 points. And so he has to be feeling pretty good about himself now. But he can't let that sink in too much. Hits here with no balls and 2 strikes on its way from the Pilot right-hander. And Mixon's going to chop it out to Huschel, and Huschel collects it and throws to first. And Cuba Best catches that one over there in time for out number 1. The DH, Alex Crotty at the plate, hitting here with 1 away and nobody on for the Chinooks. Crotty hitting from the left side, the switch hitting catcher. And Crotty, first pitch swinging out to short right field. Chandler Anderson comes in and puts that away, and the Chinooks have 2 outs quickly in this bottom of the second. Luke Coffey to the plate. Coffey playing the hot corner of third base for the Chinooks tonight. Luke Coffey from Westmont College in Santa Barbara, California. A .225 batting average and 71 plate appearances. Takes that one from Huschel for strike 1. No balls, 1 strike, and 2 outs here. And Coffey belts that to center field and deep, and that ball is going to drop down to the bottom of the wall, and Coffey's going to dig for extra bases, and he'll stop at second. And Will Britton out there in center field gave it all he had, but couldn't come up with it as Coffey was able to drop that over the center fielder's head, and That ball rolled to the bottom of the fence, and Coffey stands at second with a 2-out stand-up double.
That ball was absolutely just crushed.
That was a
out in
line
dead
drive
center
straight.
field. Any other part of the park, that ball's a home run.
As Preston White now to the plate. The 9-hole hitter hitting here with a runner on second and 2 outs. Chinooks lead 2-0 as that one breaks in the inside for ball one. One 0 pitch from Huschel. And White looks that breaking ball in for strike one. White, not used to being in the batter's box this season, usually on the mound for the Chinooks, but Levi Gilcrease, the Baylor outfielder, who's typically patrolling in the outfield, taking a break tonight. And so Preston White is back in the lineup and taking swings tonight as he takes that one inside ball two. 2 balls, 1 strike here for the future Masters University left fielder. That one drops down 3-1. And you want to talk about somebody who has power. Preston White in batting practice just spelt some. You can hear the bat just crush when the ball comes off his swings. It is a sight to see. And White makes contact, but puts that up in foul territory in front of the Chinook dugout. And Sam Cohen travels a little ways and puts that away for out number 3. We're through 2. The Chinooks lead 2-0. We'll be back for the top half of the third. Top of the third here. In this Alaska Baseball League action, Chinooks hold a 2-0 lead as Sam Frugal, the Pilot second baseman, steps to the plate, hitting from the right side to lead things off in the top half of the third for the Anchorage Glacier Pilots. And Batten drops that one in for strike one. Batten so far, 2 innings, 1 walk, 2 strikeouts on 21 pitches, making good work of these Pilot hitters. And a swing and a miss by Frugal puts Batten in the driver's seat, 0-2. No balls, 2 strikes. Coming from the right-hander, Mike Batten gets a sign from his catcher, Gomez. Gomez sets, Batten throws. And that finds the outside corner, and once again, Batten puts a strikeout in his numbers. As he is really hitting his spots, that is Mike Batten on the hill. One out, nobody on, top half the third as Batten kicks and deals. And that one down low on the outside, ball 1. And a swing and a miss by Anderson. Even count of 1-1 now. And a beautiful breaking ball by Batten finds the inside corner. And Batten on the hill is really feeling it up there on the mound tonight.
He is. It's good to see. That breaking ball started off at his chest and ended up about his knees. That's what you want to see in a breaking ball.
Tough pitch to hit.
Lots of
Batten.
movement.
Outside ball, too. Well, that's something that's interesting to watch. And it's interesting when we have pitchers in here to just, you can tell automatically from the moment it leaves the pitcher's arm what pitch is going to be. And it's amazing to hear how much they put into learning these pitches. As Batten puts that down low and gets Anderson swinging there. As Batten, his fourth strikeout of the game. As the Pilots have 2 outs here in the top of the third. As Batten chuckling to himself out there. He was walking back to the dugout, and there's only 2 outs.
Not quite yet. He's got one more to go.
And Batten, one of the more of the jokesters on the team. And we're back at the top of the order. Will Brennan to the plate, hitting here with 2 outs and nobody on as Batten comes inside to his knees, ball 1. And a swing and a miss by Brennan. Evens up this count, 1 ball, 1 strike with 2 outs and nobody on. Top half of the third. Your Chugiak Chinooks lead 2-0 over the Pilots. As Brennan chops that over to Mixon at first. Batten's going to go over to cover and catches and steps on the bag. And we're through the top half of the third. The Chinooks lead 2-0. When we come back, the Chinooks come to the plate leading 2-0. We're back here. Chinooks lead 2-0 over the Pilots. And to lead things off is the leadoff hitter, Mike Capriz. As he takes that one, low ball 1. Prees flew out to left field in his first at-bat in the bottom of the first. So he'll look for a different 2 in this at-bat, hitting from the left side, facing the right-hander on the hill. And he chops that one foul. 1 ball, 1 strike pitch now coming up. In other Alaska Baseball League news, the Oilers lead the Anchorage Bucks 2-1, and that one has a lot riding on it in terms of the Chinooks standings-wise. As Priest takes that outside ball 2.
I mean, just in league standings-wise in general, I mean, the Bucks and the Miners are tied for first. If the Bucks can pull ahead, they'll be, they have the lead. And, the Miners, which we haven't seen in second place all year. They've been in first since the get-go as Priest fouls that one off to the left side.
Well, that's what made last night, so...
It's the first stumble we've seen.
Yeah.
And to see the Pilots beat them twice, I mean, that's not something you see every day.
No disrespect to the Pilots, but it's the Miners we're talking about, and especially a 10-2 loss.
Yeah, of all things.
As Priest chops that out to second. Sam Frugel over there fields it, throws it to first. And the Chinooks have their first down at the bottom of the third. Well, I guess that's why we really say nobody's out of it until they're out of it. As long as you can make only one team doesn't make playoffs in this 5-team Alaska Baseball League. And as long as you can get to the playoffs, anything's possible. Jeremy Johnson out of the plate, who singled in the first and came around to score on a Brandon Mitchie 2-run homer. Takes that one inside, ball 1. And with a doubleheader against the Bucks tomorrow, the Chinooks, who lead 2-0 in this one, they can finish the job on this one. Knock on wood, of course. And then the Bucks, who we've had some good success against them this season, now do some damage as that one's chopped to third. Fielded by Andre Gregory, and the throw across the diamond to first base is in time, out number 2. And the guy with the home run, Brandon Mitchie. First inning, a 2 RBI bomb to right field, and no doubt about it one. Hits here with nobody on and 2 away, bottom of the third. Chinooks lead 2-0. All the credit to the man with at the plate right now. Alden Huschel, the right-hander, on the mound for the Pilots. Gets Mitchie swinging there, strike 1. Mitchie from Brisbane, Australia. Hits here. And takes that one in for strike 2. No balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, nobody on. In the bottom half of the third, Huschel, the 0-2. And did Mitchie go? The appeal to third base, and the umpire down that third base line says no, he did not. As Mitchie gets a break there, and he'll have another chance, this time with a 1-ball, 2-strike count. And that ball kicks away for ball 2. Two balls, 2 strikes here now to Mitchie. Hitting from the left side, facing the right-hander on the mound for the Pilots. And Mitchie watches that upstairs, ball 3. And Mitchie going from an 0-2 to a 3-2. And we'll see here who wins this battle between the pitcher and batter.
Mitchie just needs to stay patient and make sure he finds his pitch. If it's anything close, he's got to defend.
As that one, a good patience job by Mitchie. Takes that one for ball 4, and the Chinooks will have a 2-out base runner as Justin Gomez steps to the plate. Gomez flew out to left field in the bottom half of the first. He hits here with a runner on first and 2 away. Chinooks lead 2-0, bottom of the third. Here in beautiful Chugiak, Alaska. Great baseball weather. And so far, it's meaning good baseball by the Chinooks. As Gomez first pitch swinging, sends it out to deep opposite field foul. Strike 1. And Gomez again swinging, sends it out of play on the left side. And he'll choke up a little bit on the bat, step in a little bit more, so he'll have to protect on this no ball, 2-strike pitch on its way from the Pilots' right-hander, Huschel. Mitchie takes his lead on first. Gomez digs in the batter's box. No balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. And Gomez pops that up. And Gregory out there at third going to give chase, but ultimately to no avail as that ball's going to travel out of play. Once again, the no ball, 2-strike pitch with 2 outs to Gomez. And Gomez right back up the middle, and that's going to find its way into center field. And the Chinooks have back-to-back base runners with 2 outs for the left-handed hitting power shortstop, Aaron Shackelford.
Aaron Shackelford, 2 guys on, 2 outs. If he finds a pitch to hit, he's going to try and give it a ride.
And we talk about it a lot here in the booth. No other guy would want to be at the plate more in a 2-out RBI position. Chinooks 2, Pilots nothing. Bottom of the third. 2 outs and 2 runners on. And Shackelford takes that low ball 1. Shackelford is not afraid to be stubborn at the plate, which sometimes is a good thing. Sometimes, though, it can bite you in the butt. But so far for Shackelford, it's worked in his favor this season. 1 ball, no strikes, with 2 outs and runners on first and second. And Shackelford takes that breaking ball in for strike 1. Last night against the Oilers, Shackelford had a 2-out bases loaded situation. It went about 9 pitches. Ultimately struck out looking on a beautiful breaking ball by the Oiler pitcher. Well, that just was a testament to the patience Shackelford has at the plate. As usual, steps off and looks Mitchie back at second. Brandon Mitchie on second, Justin Gomez on first, and Aaron Shackelford awaiting a 1 ball, 1 strike pitch here in the bottom of the third with 2 outs. And Shackelford sends that out of play, and he'll have to protect here. 1 ball, 2 strikes. One and 2 count now. And that one sails outside. Even counted 2 and 2 now coming to the Chinook shortstop, Aaron Shackelford.
Shackelford just really, again, I'm reiterating it a lot, needs to stay patient.
And with 2 strikes here, that patience will be tested and see what Shackelford will take or not take. 2-2 pitch. And Shackelford right to Cuba Bess at first, who puts that one in his glove and steps on the bag himself. Shackelford frustrated with himself as he thought he had it. Well, that's going to do it. We're through 3. Chinooks 2, Pilots nothing. We'll be back with more Chinook baseball. We're back here in the top of the 4th. Chinooks 2, Pilots 0. As the right-hander Mike Batten looks to continue what so far has been a great performance. Andre Gregory, the hot-hitting third baseman of the plate, as Batten drops that in for strike 1. Before that pitch, Batten had only 35 pitches. So he's been having a great pace so far, and we hope he can keep it up. As the appeal down to first, Gregory was able to hold up on that and ball down in the dirt from Batten. Even count of 1-1 now. And that's on the outside and skips all the way to the backstop for ball 2. And that one just missed the strike zone on the outside, ball 3. And this is not a guy you want to give a hitter's count to. Andre Gregory, one of the hottest bats in the ABL so far. 3-1 pitch from Batten. And that just misses for ball 4. A short confusion as the umpire didn't give him the walk signal, but Gregory will take the walk and trot down to first base. And now, Cuba Bess, hitting .338 in this season, who grounded out to Brandon Mitchie over at second base, comes to the plate here with a runner on first and nobody out in the top half of the fourth. And that one's shot foul over to Luke Coffey, who will toss that back to his pitcher, Mike Batten. No balls, one strike to Cuba Bess. As Batten throws over to first, Gregory slides in safe. As that one's chopped in front, Gomez going to field that, thought about it in second, but instead going to throw to first, and Mitchie has to go to his feet. And Bess is safe at first. But that, honestly, we'll take as Mixon, fortunately, was able to get up there just in time. As Justin Gomez, one of the more dependable arms out there, just throws that a tad high, and Mixon had to reach up for that one to save that ball from going into the right field corner. Arguably just saved a run. But now Batten's going to have to anchor down there, or I should say batten down up there. A little pun.
Batten down the hatches.
Amen. As he has runners on first and second and starts to batten down the hatch. He does as Armani Smith, the left fielder, takes that breaking ball in for strike one. Nobody out. Here in the top half of the fourth, Batten and the Chinooks infield would love a ground ball for a double play, preferably to the third baseman here with runners on first and second. As Batten looks over to second, just making sure the Pilots base runners don't get too comfortable out there. As that one's out to Shackelford, a short Shackelford tosses to Mitchie at second. Mitchie to first. And that one is in time. And that was a rocket from the bat of Armani Smith. And Shackelford, good composure out there to short. Flipped it to Mitchie. A little bit of a high throw, but Mitchie was able to bring it down and quickly flip over to first. And now the Chinooks have 2 outs with a runner on third. And that sounds a lot better than runners on first and third, 1 out. Sam Cohen to the plate, swing and a miss from Batten. Strike one. And Cohen went about halfway and just laid off. No appeal either. As usually we see at least an appeal, but the home plate umpire having the confidence to make that call. And after.
Yeah, I would have at least appealed. It looked a little bit more than halfway there.
Well, that's what I thought. And that was what was crazy, is that at least an appeal down the third base. But ultimately, Cohen gets the benefit of the doubt and holds up on that one and also takes ball 2 there. And Batten now down 2 balls, 1 strike. And that's on the outside corner, ball 3. Three balls, 1 strike from Batten. And a swing and a miss by Cohen. Makes this a full count of 3-2. Great pitch by Batten out there on the hill.
Hopefully he can recreate one just like that with a nice big swing and a miss.
And we'll look at that. Runner on third, top half of the fourth, 2 away. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Batten sets and throws and got him. And we want to talk about a pitcher that's feeling it. We'll look no further than number 42 as Mike Batten exits. 4 innings so far, 2 walks, 4 strikeouts, and only has given up no hits as the base runners got on due to a walk and an error. And we come to the bottom of the fourth. Chinooks lead 2-0. We'll be back with more baseball. And we're back with more Chinook baseball. This time we come back in the bottom of the fourth. The Chinooks lead 2-0. Hayden Mixon the plate. And Alden Huschel misses down low, ball 1. Huschel, 45 pitches thrown. After that, missed for ball 1. And a swing and a miss by Mixon's to even up this count. 1 ball, 1 strike. And Mixon takes a hack of that breaking ball upstairs. And you shall be ahead here, ball with a 1-2 count. Mixon hitting from the right side, steps back in, 1-2 pitch. And Mixon win on that one. That's going to be strike number 3 and out number 1 here. The DH, Alex Crotty, the plate. Crotty blew out first pitch swinging into right field in his first at-bat in the second. Now hits with nobody on and 1 out in this 2-0 game. Chinooks in the lead, and Crotty swinging a miss there for strike 1.
And just a quick scoring update around the Alaska Baseball League. The Oilers hit another 2-run home run, actually by the same guy. So his second for the day, Caleb Hicks.
Good name.
4-1 is the score now.
The
down in
Oilers
Anchorage.
really putting on the Bucks. As Crotty takes that one out for ball 1. The Oilers, well, it seems like the last place teams are giving the fits to the top teams. As the Pilots, like we mentioned earlier, took 2 away from the Miners, the first place team, and now the Bucks are down 4-1. As Crotty laces that in right field, but not before Cuba Best can jump up there and stab that one out of the air for out number 2. As that had extra bases written all over it. But Cuba Best took that away. As now Luke Coffey hits here with Chinooks leading 2-0, bottom half of the fourth. Nobody on with 2 outs. Coffey doubled into deep center field in his first at-bat and takes that breaking ball up high, ball 1. Ball 2 after Huschel missed on that. Pitch up high. Outside, ball 3 to the Luke Coffey, third baseman. And Huschel finds a strike zone on that 3-0 pitch for making a 3-ball, 1-strike hitter's count to Luke Coffey at the plate with 2 outs in the bottom half of the 4th here. Huschel looks in and throws the 3-1, and Coffey fouls that off Sam Cohen, the catcher's mask. And that will load this count full. 3 balls, 2 strikes. That was a bullet off the bat at Coffey. And Cohen's mask came all the way off. Glad he's okay behind the dish tonight. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs to Luke Coffey, and nobody on the bottom half of the 4th. And Coffey sends that out of play to stay alive here in this 3-2 count. Two outs, 3-2 pitch now from Huschel. And Coffey able to lay off that one. He's going to be a 2-out base runner. And he'll take his walk. And he'll be aboard for the left fielder, Preston White. White popped out in foul territory to the catcher in the 2nd inning. And his first at-bat hits now with a runner on first. 2 outs in the bottom half of the 4th. As his Chinooks lead 2-0 over the Anchorage Glacier Pilots. Upstairs, ball 1.
White with tremendous power. Just been waiting to get a hold of one all year.
And that's going to say, how you doing, Preston White? And White is going to take his base after that hit by pitch. And now top of the order here for the Chinooks, and Mike Capriz. You want to talk about dependability? This guy has it. As it seems, whenever there's a runner on scoring position, he is able to just send one out to the outfield. And he has a chance here with runners on first and second and 2 outs. Bottom of the 4th, Chinooks already up 2-0. But would love to add some more runs here. Huschel from the stretch looks in. Facing left-handed hitting. Mike Capriz at the plate. Luke Coffey at second. Preston White at first. And the pitch. And Capriz takes that one inside for strike 1.
Right now, the top of this order really just needs to help put some runs across the board just to add to the lead here. Add some insurances. We do know the Pilots at any time could strike, and it could be, we have seen in the past, they could put 6 runs up in 1 inning. It's not hard.
As Capriz chops that out to the shortstop. Cameron Thompson, who fields that and throws over to first. No extra runs this bottom half of the 4th. We'll look ahead to the future to see if we can do that. We head to the top half of the 5th. Chinooks lead 2-0. We'll be back. And as we're back here in the top half of the 5th, Mike Batten, with 4 no-hit innings so far, steps back on the hill as he puts that one low to Carter Benz, the DH, at the plate for the Pilots. And Batten put that one in what looked to be the strike zone, but the umpire said no to that one.
That one looked really close, just right over the plate. It wasn't even close to being outside. Wonder what he was thinking there.
That's what I was going to say. It's interesting to see if he could find it on that one, too, as that one is called ball 3. And, Ryan, it looks like we were going to get out of this game with no questionable ball calls, but back-to-back ones make that a no-go, and that one finds the strike zone and will look like the same pitch as the second pitch of the at-bat. That was called a ball.
Roughly about the same spot. You know, that's just the way of the game sometimes.
And that one misses outside, ball 4. Has Mike Batten on the hill. Wondering, well, if I can't find those, where else do I have to throw other than right down the middle to get a strike call? As now, the Pilots are going to have a runner on first and nobody out here in the top half of 5th. That last walk was Batten's 3rd. And he'll now face Cameron Thompson, the Pilot shortstop, who hits from the left side of the plate. And that one's laced to Mitchie at second, and that goes off the glove of Mitchie. As Mitchie almost took that out of the air, and that would have been a for sure double play. As Benz was going there. As the Pilots get a huge break. He's like I said, Carter Benz, who was on first, was stealing. And that ball was lined out to second, and Mitchie, it went off his glove, and if he would have been able to spear that out of the air, would have been an easy task to first to get the double play. But now, runners on the corners, nobody out for Sam Fragel, the Pilots' second baseman. As the Pilots are an RBI opportunity, as that one stopped to Coffey. And he's going to tag out Carter Benz. As Coffey, a great heads-up play there. As the runner, Carter Benz at third, broke for home. It looked like he actually decided to come back, but Coffey never threw the ball and instead applies the tag. Great heads-up play there by the third baseman, Luke Coffey.
It was. Just got applied the simple tag, was ready to get him in a pickle. Looked like he was going to try and hold him at third, and Benz just froze up for that split second, and Coffey decided, no, instead of throwing to first, I'm going to take you out instead.
And take him out he did, and now with one away, runners on first and second, a little bit more easy situation for the Chinooks to handle as the 9-hole hitter Chandler Anderson swings and misses on that cheese from Batten on the hill. There's been a good amount of pickles we've seen this past week.
There have been.
We rarely saw any in the month of June, but this season we've seen a lot more. And they usually
just
revolve around Luke Coffey at third.
It's probably just some of the base runners, I guess, are getting a little bit more confident after they've seen some of the pitching. I mean, these teams, there's only 5 teams, so they play each other quite a bit. So
true.
They're going to get more and more confident as, time goes on. And they think maybe they can beat them, and that's why you have a few more pickles.
And we'll see if that confidence comes back to help or hurt as that one's chopped out to Mitchie at second. Mitchie flips over to Shackelford on second, who steps on the bag for out number 2. And Shackelford comes up limping out there as it looked like Cameron Thompson, who slid into second. As he makes sure Shackelford's okay. No ill intent on that one. As that's just the hard part of the game is, to be honest, it didn't look like Shackelford was even going to be able to get that one to first in time, but nonetheless, that could be the case for interference, but instead, the main priority is making sure our shortstop, Aaron Shackelford, is okay. Looks like he is. It's going to take a lot more than a messed up ankle to get Shackelford out of the field.
Hopefully. I don't know. It slid into him, which kind of makes me question whether or not that should have been the slide rule put into play there. But I don't know. I guess the umpire didn't think it was in too much interference with the play, or maybe the runner at first was in time already. I mean, that could have gone. It could have been in that.
Tough to call from here. I mean, we're about over 90 feet away as Batten puts that one in for strike 2. And after back-to-back strikeouts, he's 1 strike away from getting out of this. But, I mean, I'll give the benefit of the doubt to the Pilots runner. It didn't look like it was too bad interference. I mean, in his case, also, Mitchie kind of had a slow flip over to Shackelford, who was covering second. So, not much to runner could have done. But now 0-2 pitch with runners on the corners and 2 outs from Batten. And that one outside, and Gomez fakes the throw down a second. Good idea, but even better job by the runner on third for the Pilots to hold up.
That's awful tempting. I mean, what they're looking, a catcher's looking for is if, the runner on third starts to, if he took the bait, if he bit, if that runner over there, for this case, Thompson, if he was charging down and had stopped, if Gomez saw his chest was squared up towards home plate, he would have thrown the ball.
Good idea there by Gomez as that ball isn't fouled by Brennan. And now, after that foul ball and a stolen base, the Pilots have runners on second and third here with 2 outs. The Chinooks are not out of the woods yet. Pilots have runners second and third. 1 ball, 2 strike pitch coming from Batten with 2 outs in the top half of the 5th. And Batten throws and gets that shot foul down the third base line. When Gomez first popped up to throw that, I was a little questionable of that because it's really uncommon. You have runners on the corners and the runner from first breaks to second. Anytime, 95% of the time, if that ball goes to second, that runner from third's coming home.
Especially if it, if he's got good foot speed on third base, and he's definitely going to go.
1-2 pitch again, and that one's out to left field. Sails foul, and Will Brennan battling up there at the plate against Mike Batten on the mound for the Chinooks. One ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs, top half of the 5th. Pilots down 2-0 to your Chinooks. Runners on second and third. And the 6'5" right-hander, Mike Batten, looks in. 1-2 pitch. Just misses the strike zone on the outside corner. Evens up the count, ball 2. Well, it seems, Ryan, this umpire shortened the strike zone quite a bit.
Just a little bit. I mean, for the most part, it has been, I'll give him credit, it has been pretty consistent. But, I mean, if it's going to, I'd rather have it be consistent. If it's going to be tight and consistent, then great.
2-2 pitch now from Batten.
All the time.
And that one's chopped into left field. This could be trouble. And that ball is going to sail foul as the Chinooks, and especially Mike Batten on the hill, have a huge sigh of relief there. As Will Brennan laced that down the left field line and deep, but that ultimately dropped foul. Thank goodness.
That one definitely would have scored both runs.
No doubt about it.
Easily. Brennan would have been on his way to second base.
We'll see. We'll hear what would happen. 2-2 pitch now. Again coming to Brennan. Runners on second and third. Chinooks lead 2-0 with 2 outs. Top half of the 5th. Batten sets and throws. That one down in the dirt. Good job by Gomez to keep that in front of him. We'll have a full count now. 3 balls, 2 strikes. As Gomez rarely allows balls to get by him. He's like an iron wall back there. And we'll see here if Batten can get Brennan swinging and find the strike zone. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, top half of the 5th. And that one's out to left field deep, but that one is going to sail foul. And we'll do this 3-2 pitch again. And we have a battle here, as this will be the 10th pitch of the at-bat. Gotta love baseball.
Some hitters, it only takes 1 pitch to get them out.
Some take 10.
Some take 10 or more.
And we'll see here if we go to more. 3-2 pitch from Batten. As that one just is high. And that's going to be ball 4. And Ryan, you said it. You got to love consistency, but in this case, really hurting the Chinooks.
In that case, I don't know if I'd agree with that call. It was pretty much right down the middle.
As it was just a tad high, I could see why the umpire wouldn't have been 100% about it. But when you have a 3-2 pitch, I give credit to the hitter for being able to lay that one off. And now Andre Gregory, 0 for 1 in this game as he walked in the 4th. Steps to the plate, bases loaded and 2 outs. And Gregory takes that one inside, ball 1. That last walk was the 4th one issued by Batten on the mound. As Chris Beck, the pitching coach, going to call time and go out and have a word with the right-hander Mike Batten. Batten's probably wondering, well, what the heck is wrong with this strike zone? And Beck is going to walk back to the dugout after a short meeting with Mike Batten on the mound. Bases loaded, top half of the fifth. Chinooks lead 2-0. 2 outs. And a 1-ball, no strike pitch on its way to the right-handed hitting Andre Gregory at the plate for the Pilots. As this is the critical part of this game. Really the first time the Chinooks have ever been in any sort of threat here. Batting the 1-0 pitch. And Gregory fouls that off his foot, and he's going to feel that for a short moment here.
That could have been it right there. A quick, easy ground ball to Batten, but 1-1 now. We'll keep going.
As we were sailing through the first 4 innings, this one seems like it's taken years compared to the first 4.
I think someone put the emergency brake on the pace of this game.
But as long as the
slows
Chinooks
down.
can get out of this inning still with the lead, we'll take it. As Gregory chops that to Coffee at third. Coffee fields that, and he is going to step on third, and that emergency brake pays off. As the Chinooks get to a threat, but Batten gives it a fist pump on the way back as the Chinooks keep the lead 2-0 as we head to the bottom of the fifth. We'll be back. And that one finds the outside of the strike zone to Johnson, ball 1. As we're back here in the bottom of the fifth after an exciting yet non-eventful top half of the fifth, the Chinooks lead 2-0 over the Pilots. And Johnson watches that in the dirt ball 2. Johnson, 1 for 2 in this game, singled and came around to score on a 2-run homer from Brandon Mitching. And in the third inning, grounded out to the third baseman, Andre Gregory. Now is a 2-ball, no-strike pitch awaiting him from the Pilots' right-hander. And Johnson takes that outside, ball 3. As at least it's good to see this questionable strike zone is not one-sided.
It isn't. It's consistent. That's all we can give them.
Consistent yet frustrating. As that one finds the strike zone, strike 1. Well, you got to figure if we're frustrated, what do you think the pitchers are feeling?
Sheer rage, maybe something a little less than that.
3-1 pitch now to Johnson, and Johnson lays that one off, but takes it for strike 2. And Johnson, one of the more character guys on the team, gives the umpire a look of what? 3-2 pitch now to the Chinook center fielder. And Johnson goes fishing for that one, sends it to third base. It's going to be tough. Gregory, a barehanded throw. Not in time, but wow. Gregory, a great barehanded throw. Not in time, though, to get Johnson, who uses his great speed and hustles out an infield single. Brandon Mitchie, 1 for 1 in this game. He walked in the third, but belted a bomb to right field in the first to give the Chinooks the 2 and only runs of the game. Hits here with a runner on first and nobody out, and Mitchie takes that breaking ball inside for strike one. Johnson takes lead off first. The 0-1 pitch to Mitchie. Up high, ball one. Mitchie going to be attending Mercer University next year to join his teammate Alex Crotty. As we wish him the best of luck as he transfers from a North Iowa area community college. So we'll keep an eye on the future of that Chinook as Mitchie takes that outside, ball two. Now, Ryan, I want to ask, thinking ahead of next summer, how many usually are returners? So there are usually a couple guys
you
that
usually
return?
see four, maybe. I've seen 5 is the most, but, 2 or 3 for sure.
2-1 pitch to Mitchie, and Mitchie sends that a play for strike two. Well, this year we have Preston Wyatt, Aaron Shackelford, Robert Winslow. Was he here last year?
He was.
So that's 3. Those are the only 3 returners.
There was supposed to be 4, but one wasn't able to come just before the summer.
Well, we'll keep an eye out for next season. What Chinooks will be back. 2-2 pitch now to Mitchie. And Mitchie just makes contact with that to stay alive here. We'll have a 2-ball, 2-strike pitch again coming from the Pilots right-hander. Justin Gomez on deck. As that throws to second, Johnson just slides in safely.
It's definitely a very deceptive pick move right there by Huschel.
Huschel almost down it to be success as Johnson just got in there in time. 2 balls, 2 strikes, nobody out, runner on first. And the pitch to the left-handed hitting second baseman. That's outside in the dirt. Cohen could not get a good grip on that, so Johnson easily beats the throw. It looked like Cohen, when he first went to throw, had trouble gripping the ball at first, and Johnson, with his speed, easily slides in safely. And now the Chinooks have a runner in scoring position here with nobody out. And a 3-2 pitch on its way to their 3-hole hitter, Brandon Mitchie. As Huschel steps off the mound. As Johnson goes back and steps back on, and Johnson goes back out. Johnson leads off second, the 3-2 pitch to Mitchie. And a swing and a miss by the Chinook second baseman, as that's a strikeout and out number 1 here. Justin Gomez to the plate. Justin Gomez, the catcher out of Azusa Pacific. 1 for 2 in this game, singled in the third, and flew out to left field in the first. Hits here with 1 out and a runner on second. Chinooks lead 2-0. Bottom of the 5th here. As usual, gets the sign from his catcher, Sam Cohen. Down low, ball 1 to the big hitting left-handed catcher. One 0 pitch. As that one finds the strike zone to even it up 1-1.
Gomez had a pretty solid base hit his last at bat. Be cool if we could see that one again.
That would be a perfect scenario here. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out, and a pitch to Gomez. And Gomez right to Cuba Bess at first, who fields that and trots over to first himself as Johnson goes to third on that ground out. And Aaron Shackelford hitting here with a runner on third and 2 outs.
Aaron Shackelford stepping up to the plate now. Hard ground out to Cuba Bess last time he was up with the bases loaded. Hopefully this time he can try and bring Johnson around.
And oh, that comes inside. And Shackelford He's going to take his base. Boy, Shackelford's getting a little beat in this inning.
Just a little bit. I guess
Got-
the Pilots must have it out for Shackelford somehow. I don't know what he did.
Well, with the talent Shackelford possesses, would not be a shocker to see him be the one they want out. As now there's runners on the corners after Shackelford takes that hit by a pitch for Hayden Mixon to the plate. Mixon, 0-2 in this game, struck out swinging his last at-bat in the fourth and grounded out into a fielder's choice in the second. Jeremy Johnson on third, Aaron Shackelford on first. Chinooks lead 2-0 here in the bottom of the fifth. Alden Huschel on the mound for the Pilots, looks over to first, sets and throws, and Mixon takes that breaking ball in for strike one.
Base hit would be crucial right now for the Chinooks offense.
As Mixon at the plate. Thought about going after, but laid off. 1-1, and like Ryan was saying, base hit. Crucial in this game as the Chinooks really haven't had that many chances to add some runs. Apart from the 2-run homer from Brandon Mitchie in the first, have not taken advantage of that. As Huschel misses down low ball 2. Two balls, one strike here to the first baseman, Hayden Mixon. And that one's outside, ball 3. Three balls, one strike pitch on its way to the right-handed hitting first baseman, Hayden Mixon. Runners on the corners here for the Chinooks with 2 outs. And the pitch, and Mixon takes that one in for strike 2. Full count here for Hayden Mixon at the plate. Jeremy Johnson on third, Aaron Shackelford at first. Chinooks lead 2-0 here, bottom of the fifth, looking to tack on some more runs. The pitch to Mixon. And Mixon takes that breaking ball inside for a strike 3 looking. And we're through 5. The Chinooks lead 2-0 as we head to the top half of the 6th. Top of the 6th here, your Chinooks lead 2-0, and Mike Batten, the right-hander, once again on the hill to start the 6th, puts that one in for strike 1 to Cuba Bess. And Ryan, in between innings, you have an update for us between the Oilers and the Bucks.
Yeah, as it stands right now, the Oilers now have a 6-2 lead over the Bucks.
Whoa.
In the top of the 5th inning, which is still going on. We'll keep you updated.
As that ball down low, ball 1. Well, the Oilers, and they were tough out last night, only losing by 1. They put 6 runs also in the second game of last night's doubleheader. And they started off the season slow, and I guess thank goodness for that, as they've been on a tear lately. As Batten comes inside, ball 2. Cuba Bass, 0 for 2 in this game, got on in the 4th due to a throwing error by Justin Gomez, the catcher, and grounded out to second base in the 1st. And that 2-1 pitch is chopped foul. Make it a 2-ball, 2-strike pitch now on its way coming up from Batten. Batten, 76 pitches now through 5 innings. 2-2 pitch coming to Bess. And that's down low, ball 3. Good eye by Bess to lay off that 2-2 pitch. And that's upstairs for ball 4. That's the 5th walk now issued by Batten. And once again, the Pilots are going to have a leadoff base runner for Armani Smith, the left fielder, who walked in the 2nd and grounded into a 6-4-3 double play in the 4th. It's here with a runner on first, nobody out, top half of the 6th. The Chinooks up 2-0. This Alaska Baseball League action here at Lee Jordan Field in beautiful Chugiak, Alaska. And Mike Batten on the hill for the Chinooks, looking to get out of this inning here with his lead intact. And Smith had the bunt down but laid back, and good cause on that one, as that pitch came on the inside, ball 1. And that 1-0 pitch comes up high for ball 2. And after that upstairs fastball, Justin Gomez, the catcher, going to go have a word with his right-hander just to calm him down, give him the strategy here. As this is the cleanup hitter, as they do not want to have to lose him. 2 balls and no strikes, nobody out, top of the 6th. Runner aboard already on first base for the Pilots, and Armani Smith, the cleanup hitter, at the plate. Batten sets the 2-0 pitch on its way. But before, Batten's going to throw over to first, and Cuba Bass, just a little toss over there by Batten to make sure Bess knows he's over there. And now we'll have the 2-0 pitch coming from Batten. And this 2-0 ball game in favor of your Chinooks. And that's up high, ball 3. And now Batten 1 pitch away from walking back-to-back hitters here. As Batten has been known for getting behind and battling back, but so far this game, we haven't seen him struggle with command like this yet. 3-0 pitch now. And he does indeed find the strike zone there to make a hitter's count of 3-1.
And you know Smith's got the green light here with 3-1, guy on first, nobody out. Anything he sees, he might try and take a hack.
We'll see what Smith does. 3-1 pitch from Batten. But Smith not even going to swing the bat as he takes that one outside, ball 4. And now the Chinooks, once again in back-to-back innings, have a threat from the Pilots. Sam Cohen, the catcher, struck out twice in this game, looking in the 2nd, swinging in the 4th. And we'll try to avoid the hat trick here, with runners on first and 2nd and nobody out for the Pilots in the top half of the 6th, as we just passed the 8:30 mark here. In Chugiak, Alaska, Batten sets and throws to Cohen. But before, he's going to look over at his 2nd, once again to Cuba Bass. Nothing going on over there stealing base-wise. Batten sets, and the first pitch to Cohen. Cohen has the bunt down, lays off as Batten misses down for ball 1. No bullpen action going on for the Chinooks. So it looks like this will be all Battens for the foreseeable future. And I don't think Batten would want it any other way. 1 ball, no strike pitch. The left-handed hitting catcher at the plate has the bunt down again and takes that one for strike 1 after pulling it back. Cohen not wondering where that pitch was for a strike there. 1-1 pitch now coming from Batten. Cohen now applies the bunt, and that's a good bunt. Batten will have to hurry. Batten throws to first as Cohen beats that out, and now the Chinooks are in danger here. Bases loaded, nobody out for Carter Binns stepping to the plate. Chinooks up 2-0, but in danger of giving that up or worse. Going down here. First pitch to Binns. The base is loaded, nobody out. And Binns goes to Shackelford. Shackelford flips over to Mitchie. Mitchie, the first, not in time. As a run crossed the plate. 1 out recorded for the Chinooks. But now the Pilots have runners on the corners, 1 away, down 2-1 now.
Batting for the Pilots, number 23, Cameron Thompson.
Cameron Thompson the plate. Hits here with the runners on the corners, 1 away in the top half of the 6th. Thompson, 1 for 2 in this game, singled in the 5th, grounded out to second in the 2nd inning. And right now, the Chinooks would love nothing else but a grounder here for the chance at a double play.
Ground ball right now would be perfect situation to try and prevent another run from scoring.
As Batten flips the ball over to first, Carbin slides in safely. Two-one lead here after the Pilots. Plated 1, moment to go. And that one in for strike 1 to Cameron Thompson. And that one's to third. Coffey could not field that as that goes over his glove, and this game is tied. And the Pilots aren't done yet. They're going to have runners first and second with 1 away here in the top half of the 6th. And this game now tied at 2.
Coming to the plate from the Pilots, number 12, Sam Frugal.
Sam Frugal now to the plate. Hit into a fielder's choice in the 5th inning and struck out looking in the 3rd. Has a chance to give the Pilots the lead here. This game tied 2-2. Top half of the 6th. The Pilots have runners first and second and 1 out here. As Batten looks to get out of it. And Batten drops a beautiful breaking ball in for strike 1. A 1 pitch now from the right-hander Batten. And Frugal drives that to deep center field. Johnson going back, and that one drops to the foot of the wall. And a run's going to score for the Pilots. The throw from Shackelford is not in time. As Carter Binns comes home to give the Pilots a 3-2 lead. As that ball was smoked out to center. Only a single, though, as the runners had to hold. Because there was a slight chance Jeremy Johnson out there in center field might be able to put a glove on it. But ultimately, that ball flew past him and down to the foot of the wall. And the Pilots have a 3-2 lead as Chandler Anderson steps to the plate with the runners on first and second and 1 out. And this game, all of a sudden, 180-degree shift. The Pilots in full control now. As Anderson flips that bunt down the third base side, but that one's going to sail foul. As that one surprised everybody. And that one's chopped out to Shackelford at short. And Shackelford has nowhere to go other than first. As he gets the batter, the runners each advance a base. Put runners on second and third with 2 outs now for the Pilots, and this 3-2 lead for the Pilots in the top half of the 6th.
Batten right here needs this out. Stop the bleeding here while it can be. Runners on second and third, top of the order, Will Brennan.
And if Batten can keep it at a 3-2 lead, the Chinooks, no doubt about it, can come back from it as he finds a strike zone to Will Brennan for strike 1. And that one misses the strike zone, ball 1. And that one's chopped to Batten. Batten fields that himself, flips over to first. And the bleeding is stopped as the Pilots put 3 on the board in the top half of the 6th. We head at the bottom of the 6th. The Chinooks down 3-2. We'll be back. Bottom of the 6th, Alex Crotty to the plate. Over 2 in this one. Look to get something started as the Pilots put 3 on the board in the top half of the 6th to put them ahead 3-2. Crotty takes that first pitch from Huschel back on the mound for strike 1. Huschel missed the strike zone outside. 1 ball, 1 strike count. One pitch to Alex Crotty. And that breaking ball up high, ball 2. Two one pitch from Huschel. Inside, ball 3.
And a quick scoring update around the baseball league here. Bucks are not quite out of this one yet. Still in the bottom of the 5th, and it's now 6-4 after putting a 2 spot up in the bottom of the 5th. Crotty swings and fouls that one off to the backstop, making it now a full count.
Well, if the Bucks end up coming back, that would ultimately, if the Chinooks end up losing this game, as currently they're slated to do so, down 3-2, that would actually be a benefit. Now, obviously, you want to chase people as Crotty rifles that to Fugel at second, who flips over to Bess at first in time for out number 1. But if you're thinking long-term, you're 5.5 out of the Bucks for first place, as the Bucks are tied for first. It would make, logistically speaking, you're most likely not going to be able to catch the Bucks in first, just wanting to get further the gap between you and the last place team, which is the Oilers. So in essence, the Oilers losing and the Bucks winning would first place spot, but ultimately you got to look yourself in the mirror and ask yourself which one's more feasible. As Coffee sends that out of play for a strike one. As Coffee takes that one up high, ball one. Looking at the schedule, 4 games coming up against the Bucks. So realistically, the Chinooks have a chance to make a run as Coffee takes that one inside for strike 2. One ball is 2-strike pitch with 1 out here to Luke Coffey at the plate. And that one's chopped foul. Coffey staying alive up at the plate. One-two pitch from Huschel. And that one is up high. Good job by Cohen just to get a glove on it. Even count at 2 balls, 2 strikes. Ooh, and Coffey says hello to that pitch as that one comes just a tad inside and hits him on the back. And he'll take his bag with 1 out. It's Ryan, it seems like a lot of people might be a little sore tomorrow.
Yeah, Shackelford and now Coffey, both in the same spot, the left thigh.
And this guy, Preston White, at the plate, got hit by a pitch in his last at-bat in the 4th.
Yeah, that's right. So it was 3. Small crowd.
1 out here. Luke Coffey at first. Preston White, the 9-hole hitter at the plate. Bottom of the 6th. Chinooks down 3-2. And White takes that high and inside for ball 1. And that's going to cause Sam Cohen, the catcher, to trot out and have a word with his right-hander on the mound. Tap of the order on deck, and Mike Capriz, as he would love to get a chance to hit here with runners in scoring position. 1 ball, no strikes to the big hitting left fielder, Preston White. Has all the power in the world now, looking to put it all together. Not going to get a chance on that one, as that one's low ball 2. Two-0 pitch. And that one's in for strike 1 to White. Two and 1 count now to the right-handed hitting Preston White at the plate. And White sends that sky high. Frugal over there at second. Going to put that away. 2 outs now for the Chinooks in the bottom half of the 6th. Top of the order now, Mike Capriz to the plate. Capriz over 3 in this game. It's been a rarity to see Capriz not have a hit in the score sheet. Not done yet, of course. But up to this, flied out to left field in the 1st, grounded out to second in the 3rd, and grounded out to short in the 4th. Hits here with 2 outs and a runner aboard on 1st. And Capriz, first pitch swinging out to Frugal at second. Frugal goes to his left, picks that up, and tosses over to 1st. And that's going to do it for the Chinooks. We head to the top of the 7th. The Pilots lead 3-2. We'll be back. Top of the 7th here. Chinooks down 3-2. New pitcher on. As we go from teammate to teammate, J.J. Julian from Southern Wesley University, the same as the starter, Mike Batten, is on the pitch. Julian, a 1-3 record in 11 games, 14 innings pitched, 22 strikeouts through 14 innings. Gave up 14 walks and 10 hits. Last pitch, July 6th against the Miners. Got the loss, but 1 2/3, gave up 1 run on 2 hits and 3 walks with 2 strikeouts. And that 1-0 pitch is popped up to second. Mitchie is going to be called off by the right fielder, Micah Prees, who puts that in his glove for out number 1. Cuba Bess now up to the plate. Bess, over 2 in this game, walked in the 6th, got on base due to an error in the 4th, and grounded out to second in the 1st. Hits here, nobody on, and 1 out in the top half of the 7th. As he goes, chases that one upstairs. They appeal down on third base. They say Bess held. 1 ball, no strike now. And that one misses for ball 2. And that one down to Shackelford. Shackelford fields that, throws over to first in time for out number 2. And a quick 2 outs by Julian. Here in the top half of the 7th, as Armani Smith, the Pilot left fielder, who has gotten on base with 2 walks in this game, steps to the plate, nobody on, and 2 outs, top half of the 7th. The Anchorage Glacier Pilots lead this game 3-2. Here in the top half of the 7th is J.J. Julian on the mound, misses down low, ball 1. Julian doesn't seem like it at first, but definitely one of the more jokesters on the team.
He definitely is.
As Smith fouls that away. But you get why I say he doesn't really have that look at first.
No, he's usually a pretty reserved guy,
Definitely.
very quiet, but he is, once you get him going, he is pretty funny.
As he loves to make people laugh. The 1-1 pitch from the jokester Julian. And a beautiful breaking ball into the strike zone. And he's ahead here, 1 ball, 2 strikes. And Julian, who it's been a while since he's had an easy inning, is 1 strike away from doing just so. 1-2 pitch. And down low, ball 2. Two-two pitch now from Julian. As that one is chopped foul down the first base line. 2-2 pitch again. Two-two pitch again from Julian after Smith fouled that one down the first base line. Julian breathes, sets on the mound. Smith steps in the batter's box, hitting from the right side here. Julian, the 2-2 pitch, 2 outs, nobody on. And that one's out the catcher's mask. Gomez appears to be okay, and we'll do that 2-2 pitch again.
Here comes the 2-2 from Julian.
Ho! Well, not sure where that missed, but it did.
That curveball up just a little bit.
3-2 pitch now after Julian missed on that beautiful breaking ball. And that one is called strike 3. I won't say it was a makeup call, but ultimately Julian has a 1-2-3 inning. We head to the bottom of the 7th. Chinooks down 3-2. It's 7th inning stretch time. We'll be back. Bottom of the 7th, Jeremy Johnson, 2 for 3 in this game with 2 singles. Coming to the plate, new pitcher on for the Pilots. Steven Ledesma, the right-hander from UC Santa Barbara, puts that one outside. Ball 1, Ledesma. In 3 games pitched, has 7 innings. Last pitch, July 4th. Went 3 innings, gave up 2 hits, 1 run, and 5 strikeouts. The first time the Chinooks hitters are seeing the 6'5" right-hander who plops that one in for strike 1. 1-1 pitch. And Johnson sends that out of play. 1 ball, 2 strikes now.
Discovery Clover covering well in the center.
One ball, 2 strikes, nobody out. Nobody on. Bottom of the 7th, Jeremy Johnson. And Johnson goes after that low outside pitch. For out number 1.
Batting the fourth, the Chinooks, number 9, Brandon Mitchell.
Brandon Mitchie, the Chinooks second baseman, to the plate. Homered back in the 1st, walked in the 3rd, and struck out swinging. And the 5th hits here, bottom of the 7th. Pilots lead 3-2, nobody on, and 1 out. Ledesma throws, and that breaking ball hangs high, ball 1. And that's outside the umpire, making his strike zone felt out there, ball 2. And a swing and a miss by Mitchie. 2 balls, 1 strike. And Mitchie sends that deep out of play, even up the count 2-2.
And that ball sponsored by Representative Dan Sadler.
And just a quick scoring update. The Bucks have now put up 1 more run on the board, making it now 6-5, 2 outs. Right now they have guys on 1st and 2nd. We'll continue to keep you posted on that game.
As Mitchie chops that up the middle, Ledesma got a hand on it, now has to throw to 1st. And Ledesma rebounds well and gets the out number 2 anyway.
Batting the fourth, the Chinooks, number 25, Justin Gomez.
And talk about baseball, folks. Levi Gilcrease, the outfielder, warming up in the Chinook bullpen. Well, back-to-back days, Ryan, we might be seeing non-pitchers make their pitching debuts as Gomez takes that one in for strike 1. And Gomez chops that to Bess at 1st. Bess gonna flip to Ledesma, who covers 1st. And we're through 7. 3-2 lead for the Pilots as we go to the top half of the 8th. We'll be back. Top of the 8th here, folks. And, well, I said it yesterday. One of the things we love about baseball is you never know what's going to happen. Levi Gilcrease. And this is a proud moment for me. This is my roommate here in Alaska, is on the mound making his Chinook debut. And, folks, we go all the way back to 2008 when he pitched in Williamsport, Pennsylvania for the Southeast region. So he can pitch. He pitched for the best in the world when he was 12. He can do it still, probably.
He can do it. Probably not as many people in the stands.
Well, that is for sure, and probably not as big as boys as Gilcrease misses for ball 1 upstairs. 1-0 pitch from Gilcrease, and that one's popped out of play from Sam Cohen at the plate. Strike 1, Gilcrease from Baylor University. He's talked about pitching. He used to pitch in high school, and he has a heck of an arm in the outfield, so hopefully it translates to here. And, a little bit of a change up there. Puts that one in for strike 2.
I mean, you got to think, a strong arm in the outfield that we talk about all the time, it stops, runners from going home. I mean, he's got to be throwing probably 92, 93.
As that one's just muscled out into right field for a leadoff single by Cohen. And the Pilots are going to have a leadoff base runner. Well, if you're wondering why Levi might be pitching when you might have pitchers warmed up with a doubleheader tomorrow, it might make sense to save your arms and have Gilcrease pitch tonight. I mean, it's not like Gilcrease is a bad option. I mean, he's a college baseball player. They've all pitched at one point in their lives.
At this point, he kind of just needs someone who can get the ball across the plate.
That's for sure, as Gilcrease misses up high, ball 1. Well, after Alex Schmitz yesterday, I think everybody's going to go around in the bullpen. Gilcrease checks over to Cohen at first. The 1-ball, no-strike pitch from the Baylor Bear on the mound. And that one's down low, ball 2. And there goes Cohen. And a swing and a miss. Gomez has to throw on his knees. And Cohen slides in safely. Carter Benz was swinging while that throw was coming in from Gilcrease. Now a 2-ball, 1-strike count with a runner on second, nobody out. Two 2-1 pitch on its way from Gilcrease. And that's outside, ball 3. Gilcrease sets the 3-1. And that one's chopped out to right field. Pre's going to come in and put that away. And Cohen is headed to third. Strong throw by Pre's, and they fly by Coffey. And Cohen just slides in safely. And Pre's made that a lot closer than I thought it was going to be. Good arm out there by Micah Pre's in right field. Gilcrease probably wishing he was out there in right field to make his own throw.
Yeah, I don't know. Had it been Gilcrease out there in right, could it have been an out? That's what we all have to think.
Well, folks, we will never know. As the Pilots now have a runner on third. The Pilots lead this game 3-2, top half of the 8th. Gilcrease on the mound with 1 away. And that one's up high to Cameron Thompson. Ball 1. Infield is in. That one is low, ball 2. Two-0 pitch. And that finds a strike zone. 2 balls, 1 strike. 1 out, runner on third, 3-2 lead for the Pilots, top half of the 8th here. As we pass the 9 o'clock hour just moments ago. 2-1 pitch. Just missed on the outside corner, ball 3. Thompson, 2 for 3 in this game with 2 singles and an RBI. Awaits a 3-1 pitch. And a chopped fouled. Just got a tip of that one was Thompson. Full count now. Sam Cohen, the catcher, on third. Cameron Thompson, the shortstop, hitting from the left side of the plate. And 1 out here with a 3-2 pitch coming from the right fielder turns relief pitcher, Levi Gilcrease. 3-2 pitch, 1 away. And that one hangs upstairs for ball 4. And Thompson going to take his base. And now it's going to be runners on the corners with a 1 out here for the Pilots with Sam Fragel to the plate. And that's going to cause for Chris Beck, the pitching coach, going to go have a word with his pitcher.
And while the coach confers with his pitcher, if you bought a split the pot ticket, let's give you a winning ticket number right now for $93. Here's your split the pot winning ticket number 890090. 890090. You've got 890090. It's the blue split the pot ticket number, and you've won $93, courtesy of the Knights of Columbus and the Chinooks.
And Chris Beck goes back to the dugout. Justin Gomez trots back behind the dish. As Sam Frugel, 1 for 3 in this game, singled in the 6th, grounded into a fielder's choice in the 5th, and struck out looking in the 3rd. Hits here with runners on the corners, top half of the 8th. 1 out. And the Pilots lead 3 runs to 2. As Levi Gilcrease looks to get out of this one with no runs coming across. And that one's inside to Frigel. Strike 1. Excuse me, ball 1. Frigel gets his signs from his third base coach. Steps back in. 1-0 pitch from Gilcrease. And that one's down low, ball 2. And Gilcrease misses again, ball 3. And now Gilcrease, he has to find the strike zone. 3 balls, no strikes. And he finds the strike zone, indeed, to make it a hitter's count of 3-1 to the Pilot's second baseman. 3 balls, 1 strike. Runners on the corners here, 1 out. 3-2 lead for the Pilots. Levi Gilcrease on the mound. Sam Frugel at the plate. As Gilcrease tosses over to first. So Cameron Thompson over there doesn't get too comfortable. Sam Cohen on third. Cameron Thompson on first. Sam Frugel at the plate. 3-1 pitch coming from the right-hander Gilcrease, who sets. And that one is popped up in a short right field. Pre's going to give chase. Cohen is going to be on third, and here he comes. The long throw to Pre's. And, what a throw as Cohen was going about halfway and said, nope, not going to test that arm, as that was a bullet from Pre's. As he saves a run there as the runners stay in their bases on first and third. As folks, Andrew Towns now going to run down to the bullpen, so we might be seeing 2 Chinook debuts tonight. Andrew Towns, the assistant coach turned pitcher, might be on the mound for the Chinooks. Well, Ryan, we can say we've seen it all.
Yeah, been an eventful past 2 days, hasn't it?
A shortstop, a right fielder, and an assistant coach. Not going to get wilder than that as that ball's out to right field, and Pre's is right there, puts it away, and Levi Gilcrease walks off with a chuckle as he has a successful inning. We head to the bottom of the 8th. The Chinooks down 3-2. We'll be back.
the check. Now batting four.
Bottom of the 8th, and Aaron Shack over to the plate. Your Chinooks down 3-2. As Steven Ledesma back on the mound for the Pilots. And Aaron Shackelford, over 2 in this game, got hit by a pitch in the 5th. Looks to get in the hit column for tonight as he takes that one outside and low ball 1. On deck, Hayden Mixon, the first baseman, will look to hit with a runner on here, but right now Shackelford awaits a 1-0 pitch from Ledesma. And Shackelford waits that one off, ball 2. Good eye there by the Chinook shortstop. A little beaten up tonight, like I said, hit by a pitch and was cleated, not intentional, of course, but nonetheless cleated on a stolen base. Shackelford taps that one foul for strike 1. Two balls, 1 strike to the 5'9" power hitting shortstop as Ledesma steps off and on. 2-1 pitch from the 6'5" right-hander. And Shackelford sends that out of play. Ball 2, strike 2 now. Cohen has a quick word with his right-hander, now trots back into the catcher's position. 2 balls, 2 strikes, nobody out, nobody on, bottom of the 8th. Pilots lead this game 3-2. In a critical Alaska Baseball League matchup, Ledesma looks in with a 2-2 pitch coming to Aaron Shackelford. And that ball hangs high, ball 3. Full count now to the Masters University left-handed hitter. And Andrew Towns getting warmed up in the bullpen, so it looks like we will see the assistant coach turn lefty in the 9th. And Shackelford chases that outside pitch for strike 3. 1 away here in the bottom of the 8th. Hayden Mixon struck out looking in the 5th, stepping on the plate, nobody on, and 1 out.
Batting for your Chinooks number 21, Hayden Mixon.
Ledesma gets his sign from Cohen, the catcher. Looks into Mixon and throws. And Mixon watches that one in for strike 1. Mixon over 3 in this one. Looking to change that now. A 1 pitch on the way to the LSU Eunice first baseman from the UC Santa Barbara right-hander. And Mixon lays that out to left field, and that's going to hang up and drop for a 1-out single for Mixon. And after that, 1-out single, Alex Crotty, the switch-hitting catcher, hitting from the left side in this at-bat, comes to the plate, runner on first, 1 out in this 3-2 ball game in favor of the visiting Anchorage Glacier Pilots. Ledesma from the stretch throws and hits the outside corner. Strike 1. And the game we've all been watching, the Oilers-Bucks, still in the top of the 8th. Oilers lead 6-5. Ryan and I will keep you updated as much as possible. A 1 pitch from Ledesma now with 1 out. And that one hangs outside and low ball 2. Excuse me, ball 1. Getting ahead of myself here. One ball, 1 strike with 1 out here. And a runner on first. And that one outside, Ledesma loving that outside part of the plate. Missed twice in this at-bat for a 2-ball, 1 strike count to the Mercer Bear at the plate. And Alex Karate. Hayden Mixon takes his lead off first, and Ledesma sets the 2-1 pitch. And Karate swings at that ball in the dirt to make an even count at 2-2. And the Mercer Bear will have to protect here. 2-2 pitch. Runner on first, bottom of the 8th. Pilots lead 3-2. Here at Lee Jordan Field, the bottom of the 8th. And Karate goes after the high cheese and strikes out swinging for out number 2. And Luke Coffey doubled in the second, walked in the fourth, hit by a pitch in the sixth. So he's gotten on base in almost every way possible. Hits here with a runner on first and 2 outs, bottom of the eighth. Coffey awaits the pitch from the right-hander and takes that one in for ball one. Coffey, who has his parents and girlfriend visiting, as I'm sure that puts a little bit of extra stress on him.
Maybe just a little.
Just a tad. But I'm sure he's used to his family watching him for years now. The 1-0 pitch now to the Westmont College third baseman. A big swing and a miss for strike one. 1 ball, 1 strike. As Coffey steps back in, Mixon takes his lead off first. 2 outs, bottom of the eighth here. As Steven Ledesma, the 6'5" right-hander, looks in and throws. And Coffey fouls that one away. Strike 2. One-two pitch now to Coffey at the plate. And Coffey chops that to Gregory at third, who throws over to first and in time. And that's going to do it for the Chinooks side of the eighth. We head to the top of the ninth. Pilots lead 3-2. We'll be back. Top of the ninth here. Pilots lead 3-2. Levi Gilcrease back on the mound again. And drops that one high. Ball one. Top of the order, Will Brennan. The plate, Brennan. 0 for 3 in this game with a walk. Looks to get in the hit column here. The 1-0 count from Gilcrease puts that one in for strike one. Gilcrease in the first inning gave up 1 hit and a walk, but ultimately did what he had to do and kept the deficit at 1. And Brennan ropes that 1-1 pitch into right field for a leadoff single. Good piece of hitting there by Will Brennan, the leadoff hitter. Andre Gregory, the third baseman, 0 for 3 in this game, now to the plate. Runner on first and nobody out here. Top of the ninth, as the Chinooks look to keep this deficit at 1 to give them every chance possible to make a comeback and potential game-winning situation in the bottom half of the ninth. Gregory has the bunt down, pulled back, and takes that one in for strike one. And Gregory, after going over 3, will definitely see his batting drop take a hit. He came into this as the 4th in the league in terms of batting average. Likely will not be there tomorrow if he cannot put a hit on the board. And Gilcrease puts that one inside. And Gregory has no choice, but fouls that one to the backstop. 0-2 now coming from the Baylor Bear on the mound. No balls, 2 strikes, nobody out, top half of the ninth. Will Brennan on first after singling in the right field. Gilcrease, the 0-2 pitch to Andre Gregory at the plate. Down low, ball one. One-two pitch. And that one's out to left field, and Preston White goes back and puts that away. We're out number one here in the top half of the ninth. Cuba Bess, the first baseman, comes to the plate here, hitting from the left side. Runner aboard on first and one out. Top half of the ninth. Chinooks 2, Pilots 3. Levi Gilcrease on the mound, flips over to first as Brennan slides in safely. Andrew Towns warming up in the Chinook bullpen. Not sure yet if we'll see him in this game, but no doubt about him being warm down there. As Gilcrease misses outside, ball one. One-oh pitch. And a swing and a miss by Bess. He evens his count up at one apiece. 1 ball, 1 strike here with a 1 away, top half of the ninth. Cuba Bess, the first baseman, against Levi Gilcrease, the pitcher, who throws over to first. Keep Brendan honest over there. Brendan not afraid to test the catcher's arm and go for second. 1-1 pitch from Gilcrease. And there goes Brendan. And Gomez, no throw due to the ball in the dirt from the pitcher Gilcrease. And now the Pilots are going to have a runner on second as they look for some insurance runs here in the top half of the ninth. Two-one pitch now from Gilcrease. And that one's chopped into left field. And Preston White going to come up throwing as Will Brennan is held up at third. And the Chinooks now going to have runners on the corners to deal with 1 away. As the cleanup hitter, Armani Smith, 0 for 2 in this game, struck out looking in the 7th, walked in the 6th, grounded into a 6-4-3 double play in the 4th, and walked in the 2nd. He's to the plate now with runners on the corners, 1 away, top half of the ninth. Pilots 3, Chinooks 2. As we approach the 9:30 mark here in beautiful Chugiak, Alaska, as we have a pitch runner now for the Pilots. In for Cuba Bess. Samuel Blair, number 4. Samuel Blair out there for speed, and would be shocked if we don't see that speed put to use, as with a runner on third and with only 1 out. Pilots would be foolish not to see if Gomez takes the bait and try to throw down to second. And Brendan will try to take home as well, as Gilcrease looks over to third, and they're going to say it's a balk. And, well then, if that's a balk, then these pitchers are on a tight leash. As the balk was called, as Gilcrease, we've seen it before, and it looked good. We've seen some bad attempts at it, but this one was not near that. As now Gilcrease is going to step off, as John Groth going to go have a word with the home plate umpire. As it looked like Gilcrease, he made a pickoff attempt at third, and as he came off to third, he never had the inclination to throw over third. He did it with the purpose of throwing to first, as he had the late kick up, went like he was going to third, and quickly turned around to throw to first, and the balk was called. And now I have to assume, now obviously, from behind the plate here, it looks straight on, but I'm not from the side view. So I can't see it like that, but I would assume that the call would be Gilcrease, his leg moved towards the plate before going to third, but nonetheless, the balk's going to be called. And now 4-2 is the lead for the Pilots, and a runner on second with one away. And Smith out to left center, and here comes Samuel Blair coming from second. And he's going to score easily, and this game is now 5-2 in favor of the Pilots. And, well, that balk has cost the Chinooks 2 runs. And now the Pilots leading 5-2. Sam Cohen to the plate with a runner aboard on first and one out in the top half of the ninth. As Gilcrease just has to shake it off and refocus as he's done nothing wrong. He's given up only 2 hits this inning as that one is laced. Good job by Mixon, but that was going to be called foul. Anyway. No balls, 1 strike after that ground ball by Cohen. Or foul ball. Gilcrease sets the 0-1 pitch to the catcher. And that one's low ball 1. And that 1-1 pitch misses high. 2-1 now. And Gilcrease finds the strike zone there. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Gilcrease looks in, sets the 2-2 pitch. And that one's out to deep right center. Pre's going to go give chase out there. And that ball is to the bottom of the wall. It's Pre's could not come up with it. And here comes the throw. Runner from first is going to score easily. As Armani Smith scores. And Sam Cohen has an RBI triple. As it looked like Mike Caprice out there in right field. As that ball was ripped out to right center. It looked like Preece, though, was going to be able to get to it. But couldn't come up with it. And Cohen ends up at third. And the Pilots have a run. And this game has been broken open. The Pilots now lead 6-2. The Chinook infield is in. Carter Binns to the plate with 1 out and a runner on third. And Binns takes that one high for ball 1. And now Gomez. He's going to have to try to work with Gilcrease to get out of this one. Gilcrease now with 39 pitches. This is the 40th on the way. And that one's chopped. Shackelford, a great drive. Could not get a grip on it and has to throw to first. And a great throw from his knees from Shackelford. A run does score. As that one was ripped to left field. Shackelford, a diving attempt. His initial reaction was to come home, but could not get a good grip on it. And threw from his back all the way to first in time for the out. But like I said, run does score. 7-2. Two outs now. Cameron Thompson to the plate as that breaking ball misses for ball 1 from Gilcrease on the mound. One ball, no strikes, nobody on, 2 outs. And that ball is sent out of play. 1-1 now. 1-1 count from the Baylor Bear on the mound. And that one is popped up sky high. Preece coming in from right. And that's going to be called off by the right fielder. Puts that away. The Pilots put 4 on the board. And we head to the bottom of the ninth. 7-2 lead for the Pilots. We'll be back. Bottom of the ninth, and folks, it's rally cap time. Chinooks down 7-2 after the Pilots had a full-run top half of the night to break this game open. And the first crack at a comeback here is Preston White, who's swinging a miss for strike one. One ball, no balls, one strike. And White crushes that out to left field. And that ball is going to be caught out there by Armani Smith from the crack of the bat. It looked like it had potential, but died up in the air for out number one. Top of the order now, Micah Breeze to the plate. One out, nobody on for Breeze in the bottom of the ninth, and Breeze takes that one inside from Ledesma for strike one. Breeze 0 for 4 in this game. It's a rare occurrence to see Breeze go 0 for in a game, as he'll look to change that. 0-1 pitch. Hangs outside, ball one. One pitch now to the Chinook right fielder. Breeze takes that one in for strike two. 1-2 to the Point Loma Nazarene left-handed hitter Micah Breeze with one away in the bottom half of the ninth. And Breeze protects there and sends that out of play. And a 1-2 pitch again coming from the right-hander Steven Ledesma. Ledesma looks in, the 1-2 pitch. And Breeze goes after that one, and that's going to be off Cameron Thompson's glove. And in the center field, and that's going to be a hit from Micah Breeze. So Breeze avoids going 0 for 5, and hopefully jump starts a comeback attempt for the Chinooks as Jeremy Johnson struck out swinging in the 7th, but ultimately 2 for 4 in this game overall. Comes to the plate with one out and a runner on first. Johnson takes that one low, ball one from Steven Ledesma. Down low, ball two. Johnson, great eye up there to avoid taking a hack at that ball. 2 balls, no strikes here. Micah Breeze on first after a single up the middle and one away in the bottom of the ninth. Chinooks down 7-2. Johnson takes that one in for strike one. Ledesma, 38 pitches now through 2 1/3. As he looks to finish this game in the bottom of the ninth. 7-2 lead for the Pilots. Runner on first, Jeremy Johnson awaits the 2-1. And Johnson goes and chases that one down in the dirt to even up the count 2-2 after that swing and a miss. 2 balls, 2 strikes for the Auburn outfielder, Jeremy Johnson, who, if he can put this ball in play, can make something happen potentially. 2-2 pitch to Jeremy Johnson, hitting from the right side. The 6'5" right-hander, Steven Ledesma, sets and throws. And Johnson chops that over to Gregory at third, who flips to second, flips to first. Not in time, so this game will stay alive for at least one more batter. As Johnson grounds into the fielder's choice, as Micah Breeze is thrown out at second. Brandon Mitchie to the plate now with a runner on first and 2 away. Chinooks down 7-2 here. As Mitchie, who homered back in the first, looks to keep this game alive, as this could potentially be the last batter the Chinooks have. First pitch from Ledesma to Mitchie. And Mitchie takes that one outside and high, ball one. Ledesma now 41 pitches and 2 2/3 innings. 1 out away from getting the closing door on this game. And Mitchie takes that outside corner, strike one. Ledesma, the UC Santa Barbara right-hander, has a 1-1 count to the Australia native, Brandon Mitchie, hitting here with a runner on first and 2 away, bottom of the ninth. Mitchie swings and misses there to go down 1-2. And Mitchie rarely goes down looking. We'll have to protect here after that swing and a miss to put him down 1 ball, 2 strikes. Jeremy Johnson, after grounding to a fielder's choice, leads off at first. Brandon Mitchie digs in from the left side of the batter's box. 2 outs, bottom of the ninth. Chinooks down 7-2. The Pilots pitcher throws down in the dirt. Good job by Cohen to keep that in front of him. As that skips in the dirt, evens the count. 2 balls, 2 strikes. And the sun starting to set here in Chugiak. Starting to look more like a 10 o'clock hour should be, as we're here at 9:41 here at Lee Jordan Field. But hopefully, as the sun goes down, the bats light up. 2-2 pitch to the Chinooks. Second baseman, and Mitchie stays alive after grounds that one to the Pilots dugout. Stays alive. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Again coming from Ledesma. Two pitch. And that breaking ball is outside and high. And Mitchie is doing everything he can to get aboard here, as he has put this count full. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Runner on board on first. 2 outs. 7-2 lead for the Pilots. Bottom of the ninth here. Brandon Mitchie awaits. 3-2 from Ledesma on the mound. And Mitchie, his patience pays off again. And for the second time this night, gets on with a walk. This game ain't over yet as Justin Gomez, who's 1 for 4 in this game, coming to the plate. And Gomez, a little bit of a cold spell going on, but at any moment can belt one of the gap, and he'll look to do just so right now. Hitting with runners on first and second. Bottom of the ninth, Chinooks down 5 with 2 outs. Justin Gomez awaiting the pitch, who swings and hits that out to Frugal at second, who flips that to second base and in time for the out. And this game is over. Chinooks followed the Pilots 7-2. Tough game for the Chinooks after taking a 2-0 lead in the bottom of the first. Just could not get anything going offensively. And ultimately, they lose this game 7-2. The Pilots advance to a 13-15 record, and the Chinooks fall to 12-17. And in other Alaska Baseball League news, the Oilers now lead the Bucks 8-5 in the top of the ninth. As that game, if the Oilers can keep that lead, will really make this game a bad loss. Any loss is bad, but when it affects your outcome in the standings, not a good sign. Be back in a minute for a postgame. Well, bad loss, losing 7-2. It's okay. It's baseball. Every day is a new day, and every day is a new war. The Chinooks had a 2-0 lead through 5. Mike Batten pitched great. Ultimately did get the loss. Mike Batten, the starting pitcher, went 6 innings, gave up 3 runs on 4 hits, 6 walks, 5 strikeouts. Then J.J. Julian came on the 7th, went 1 inning and 1 strikeout, gave up no hits, no runs, and no walks. And then the bad inning happened. Levi Gilchrist in the 8th, though. I mean, this was the first time pitching. Had a great 8th inning. The 9th inning, though, not totally on his shoulders. Obviously, he was the one giving up the hits, but Gilchrist, for the most part, pitched well. And if it was for an arguably bad balk call, I mean, I saw no problem with it, and so did Chris Beck, the pitching coach. He was questioning it, and sometimes the umpires, they have to rule it how they see fit, but sometimes the umpires, they don't help with the games. And we saw that tonight. The umpire strike zone. Now, obviously, as a Chinook fan, I'm going to think it's wrong if it should have been a strike when we were on the field. But the umpires, the men in black, have the final say, and we have to respect their call. The Chinooks, though, lose this game 7-2. And tomorrow, we have a doubleheader at Lee Jordan Field at 5 and 7. If you're in the Alaska area, we would love for you to come out. And those are huge 2 games, as the Oilers, they're leading 8-5 over the St. Bucks, 8-5 at the top of the ninth. If the Oilers win that, they are ultimately, I believe, will be tied for last place. And with only 5 teams in the league and the first 4 making the playoffs, it's going to be huge to get those 2 wins against the Bucks. And we've had good success against the Bucks, but ultimately we'll have to put it out in the field. I got nothing else to say. I mean, when your only 2 runs come from a 2-run homer in the first, you're probably going to lose the game. As our offense, we had 7 hits, but just could not put it all together to put the runs across the board. But that's why this game is called baseball. Like I said, every day is a new game, and every game is a new opportunity for a win. I'm Cale Duarte, the voice of the Chinooks. Nothing else to say except have a great night. God bless, and fish on. We'll be back here tomorrow for a doubleheader against the Anchorage Bucks. The big boys from the big city come to town. You guys have a great night, and God bless. Go Chinooks.